everyone, welcome to another lesson. And like I said from the previous lesson that we are moving to another different topic and a very important topic in JavaScript, which is the JavaScript arrays. Think of when you need to do complex uh, implementation or task in your code. Sometimes declaring multiple variables might not be the way to go. Imagine you having thousands of records to work with, or even millions of records to work with. Doing it one after the other can feel cumbersome and very tiring. And that is why I said this topic is very important in JavaScript, because as you are going to discover for yourself, you see how array can help you simplify working with large data sets, or large volume of of anything that you may want to implement in your code in JavaScript. By the way, what exactly is an array? An array is an object type designed for storing data collections. Now, if you look at that definition, an object type, which means that array is also an object, but it's a special type of object, as you are going to be seeing in the continuation of this topic. It is already said here that it is an object type designed for storing data collection. So we have object, then we have array. But then array is an object type, which means that when we talk about objects, if you remember the previous lessons where we talked about objects, array happens to be one of the object type, a special object type. When we begin to talk about the methods and the properties of array in the upcoming lesson, then you begin to see how it is related to the way we treat objects when we talked about objects in the previous lesson. So it's an object type and it is designed for storing data collection. So when you have gigantic data, instead of doing it one after the other, array can help you to do things like sorting, things like merging, things like looping over that data to find the exact thing or exact match of whatever it is that you may be looking for in your data. Now, what are the key characteristics of JavaScript array? The number one thing here is elements. So, the children of an array are called elements. An array is a list of values known as elements. So, the list of values contained in an array is what is referred to as the elements, and they are known as elements. Number two key characteristic of JavaScript is that arrays are ordered. Array elements are ordered based on their index, which means that when you are working with array, index is very important. And index refers to positions of the element, the position of the list, as you will see further as we dig deeper into what an array is. By the time you start working with example, you are going to understand what index means and why they are so important when working with array elements. So JavaScript arrays are ordered. Array elements are ordered based on their index. Index is just their position. So just as we've been talking about the fact that JavaScript starts counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So elements in an array also have positions and they have indexes, which is the number, the position they occupy in that order of the array. The number three thing says JavaScript arrays are zero index. The first element is at index 0, the second at index 1, and so on. So when you're working with the elements of an array, always have this at the back of your mind that JavaScript array has 0 index, which means that each of the elements counting starts from 0, the second at 1, and so on and so forth. Then the fourth thing is the dynamic size. Arrays can grow or shrink as elements are added or removed. One beautiful thing about arrays in JavaScript is the fact that when you have an initial element for an array, you can remove from it and you can as well add to it. So this makes it dynamic in the sense that the size can grow to become larger or shrink to become smaller and contain. So you're going to be seeing how this looks like and how it works in array as we proceed. And last but not least, JavaScript arrays are heterogeneous. Arrays can store elements of different data types, numbers, string, object, another array. So arrays can store different elements type. It can store different data types. It can store numbers. It can store strings. It can store even objects, and it can even store other arrays inside of it. So in the upcoming lesson, you are going to be seeing how all these things fit in together and how this makes array a powerful concept in JavaScript. So for now, let me just quickly show us an example of what an array looks like in JavaScript. So let me pull up my editor. And so I'm just going to make something like this variable and call it car. And then array use this bracket notation. And then I can begin to give it value under. So fourth. On the now, if you look at this, this is an array. So the square bracket is what denotes that this is an array. I have 4 elements inside of this array. As you can see right here, I have under, I have Toyota, I have Ford, and I have Hyundai. So these are 4 elements in my array. So let me print this array out so that you can see what is contained inside of it. So let me just use this directly. And right here you can see under Toyota, you can see Ford and Hyundai. Now, not only can array contains string, it can contain numbers 1, 2, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90. And now right here in my output, you can see what it looks like, that this is a collection of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this in traditional mathematics will be counted as 7 elements, but in array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget that has been said earlier that array has 0 index, so it means their index is 0 base. Counting starts from 0 and not from 1. So these are 2 examples of what an array is in JavaScript. One is a script, a string example, and then the other one is numbers. So I can change this to numbers. Yes, numbers, and then you can see it will still work. So the name does not matter. As long as it is correct, then you definitely get an output. So this is an introduction to array in JavaScript. And in the next lesson, we're going to talk about why use array. Why do you need array as a developer, as a JavaScript person? We'll discuss that in the next lesson. I'll see you then. Thank you.